Hey, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Team Call. My name is Leah Pearson, and I'm an Emerald Ambassador. And tonight we are going to talk about strategy for how to end the month strong. And I had great intentions of making a PowerPoint so that you guys could see verbiage as I'm like sharing some verbiage with you. But, oh, you can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me okay? Somebody just said they couldn't hear me in the comments. So let me know, or we probably should restart. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. I was going to make a PowerPoint and all of my kids got the flu and then my niece ended up in the ER. So I will share a Google Doc with you at the end of this with like the verbiage. So it's not going to be in front of you. I apologize. I was going to do that, but hopefully this will still be helpful. And I will put the Google Doc and some other things that I'm going to refer to, like some other tools for you in the post of the recording as well. But I thought that this would be a timely team call with the 28th being tomorrow. That's when all subs run. So it's a time to kind of check out your virtual office, get your ducks in a row, and then stretch for goals between now and the end of the month. Every single month, you really need to be working with urgency right through the end of the month. So what goals did you set at the beginning of the month? At this point, we're in the final week here, right? So do you need to adjust those goals? Do you need to ramp up your activity? Maybe you did hit your goals already. Either way, it's time to regroup and take inventory with where your business is at and then intentionally work the last few days of the month here. So you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and subs are going to have ran, right? So if you are way off from your goal, you might feel like, you know what, I'm just going to take it easy and try again next month. But I really want to encourage you to not do that. Wherever your points are at, you need to dig in. If you wake up tomorrow and your points are where you were thinking they were going to be, or maybe they are beyond what you thought, maybe you surpassed your goal, you still need to not let up because there's so many things to work for right now with convention contest for yourself and for your team, just silver development, keeping momentum moving forward for the upcoming months, the future success of your team, it all matters. And so you cannot let up. If you have a big picture mindset, even if you did reach a rank already this month, if you did reach a goal, you cannot take your foot off the gas at the end of the month because we're working for diamond. And I tell my team this a lot. We're not working for an iPad. When you're a diamond, you can buy as many iPads as you want. And I think that these incentives are super fun, but big picture is what we're working for. And if you want to be a diamond, you need to be consistently showing up. And that means all the way through the month, not only for you, but also for your team. Even if you've already marked off short-term goals, we are not working for short-term goals. We're working for big picture and long-term. So what should you be working for at the end of this month here? I think that this is super important and it's something that needs to duplicate on your team. So make sure that if you have workers, that they know this and they're working accordingly too. A minimum baseline to be successful in this business is this. Every single month, you need to make it a goal to bring in a minimum of 3 personal joins. And you also need to develop a silver. This is the baseline. So you need to be doing this at a minimum every single month. So if you currently right now take inventory, do you have 3 joins? If not, if you're not on track to get 3 joins, or maybe you don't have enough conversations going to get 3 joins, you need to get some mass reach outs in, you need to up your activity, and you need to work all the way through the midnight on the last day of the month to get those 3 joins. Every single month, you need to be working with the urgency of rank up month. On a rank up month, if you only needed 2 or 3 more joins, you're going to be excited. You're going to be doing mass follow-up. You're going to be working with urgency, posting, interacting with people, asking others for first posts, doing all the things. This is exactly how you need to intentionally be working every month for every single goal, even if it's not necessarily a rank up goal, even if it's a point growth goal, or even if it's that goal of getting those minimum 3 joins. You need to work like that to get those 3 joins. Work till midnight each month, just like it was a rank up month. So that's kind of the baseline and kind of the mindset behind how you need to be working the next few days. So I want to give you some action steps for what to do between now and the end of the month. This is not in any specific order, just some things that came to mind that I thought would be helpful, things that I try to do at the end of every month. So one thing that you need to look at is who is close to ranking up or re-ranking on your team. So even if you're just getting started and you're kind of like, I don't have a very big team, this still applies to you because you have the potential to develop some silvers on your team before the end of the month. It's the 27th today, but that means there's a lot of month left. A lot can happen in a matter of a couple days. So don't give up. You need to go to your team list in your virtual office. So if you hit points and rank and you populate the list of your team, if you scroll all the way to the right, you're going to see where it says team points, like the column header on the top says team points. If you double click on that, it's going to sort your team points from highest to lowest. By doing this, you're going to be able to see who is close to ranking up or close to maintaining a rank. I especially look for people with these criteria. Somebody that has maybe 6 to 12 points that has never went silver before, because guess what? They can go silver. Somebody who has like 20 to 45 points, who's never gone senior silver, because they can still go senior silver. Somebody who is 70 to 95 points, who has never gone gold before, or 150 to 245 points. So they're on the brink of senior gold. There is enough time left that they can absolutely hit those ranks, and they just might need you to breathe some belief into them. So they're your team, steward them well, and make sure that you are doing that. So people who are within those ranges of re-rank or ranking up. One thing that you can do when you're looking at that, make sure that you're looking at the achieved rank column. So just to the left of that, it'll show what they have already hit, like what rank they've already hit. So if it says that that person has achieved the rank of silver, but then you look at their team points and they're at 40 points, that means they are only 2 joins away from senior silver and they've not hit senior silver yet. So you need to make sure that they know that. Hey, there's only 2 more joins and then you get a $150 bonus. Like, you need to be getting in contact with them and building excitement. So reach out with an encouraging message and ask how you can help. Cast vision about what achieving that rank means. Like, hey, you get this $150 bonus, or if they're in the fast start, window, it's a $300 bonus. That's a big deal. Make sure you include their sponsor if they have an engaged sponsor, or if they're like, not your level 1. And I really think it's important to know that the goal in your business, you need to be moving the masses. So if everybody does a little bit, it equals a lot in your organization. Everyone getting another join or 2 makes a huge difference in your team. And it's important that you train your workers to know that and talk like that and act like that too. Because they need to understand the importance of just even +1s and silver development and those little things, because little things add up. Helping more people succeed is what this is all about. And you can really build an army of silvers and senior silvers and golds and see some massive growth in your business. You don't have to wait for a rock star to come along. Don't feel like you have to have all-in workers in order to move your business forward. We do want all-in workers. I'm not saying that, but you can still definitely make progress with +1s and silver development. And I think it's really important to look where you can create some points within your existing team. So we obviously do want those all-in workers and we want to build strong leaders, but you need to tap into the potential that you have across the board, especially at end of the month, right? So you can just know that you can still move forward and be successful with the team that you have right now. But you can't move people forward if you don't know where they're at, right? So that's why it's important to make sure that you're in your virtual office. So checking those points and ranks, that's really, really important, because you cannot cast vision and move them forward if you don't even know that they're close. I think a similar question that I hear it a lot, like in group coaching or on my coaching calls across the board, I think people ask, how can I grow my team? Or what do I do about retention? Or why am I struggling to rank up? And a really effective solution to all of that is to create more rank ups team-wide. Start with +1s, start developing some silvers, keep stepping them along, and teach your people to do the same. You need to value those +1s and those silvers. Help more people win, and then you're going to win. Making sure that even product users have a couple referrals is huge for retention. So make it a standard on your team. Make sure as the leader, you're talking about it often, and everybody knows that everybody needs to come in with an accountability partner. And it's not too late at the end of the month here to breathe belief into people as well, as far as like utilizing incentives and stuff like that. So how to encourage people to move forward. You can talk to your sponsor a little bit more about this too, just for the sake of time. I'm kind of given a brief overview on this, but ask people for a first post. If they've got a victory, like a health victory, something like that, ask them for a first post. And I will share more on that later. Ask them to make a list of a couple friends and give them a specific sample message. So you're like spoon feeding that message to them. Would you be able to, send this to 3 to 5 of your friends today? Just continue to step them along. In addition to checking to see who is close for rank ups with your team right now, just because we're in the middle of convention contest, it's important to know who is close to hitting incentives on your team too. Anyone who hits the incentive, the iPad incentive, or whatever incentive it is each month, that's a huge deal for you for convention contest. So make sure that you are stretching for those incentives too. Make sure with those incentives too that you're leading from the front in earning those as well, and encourage your team to lean in too. If you have earned your iPad, drop it in the comments, let us know. Or if you're still working for it, let us know. But it's really important that you're leading from the front and encouraging your team by you also earning those incentives. If you don't have a team yet, I think it's really, really important that you're out leading in the front too, because if you're reaching out about the business, it's going to look really, really good as a follow-up. Essentially, any posts that are on your page are essentially a form of follow-up. And so it's going to look really good to those people that you're reaching out to when they see you earning all these things and they see your rank up announcements. So make sure that you are a visible leader that is leading from the front. Another thing that you need to check in your back office at the end of the month is credit card declines. And this is something that you should be doing all month long, but make sure that you're double checking it at the end of the month too. So if you do not know how to see if somebody's order went through or not, or if their credit card was declined, I do have a short video that I made with one of my business builders that actually screen shares the virtual office, and you can see how to tell like if the person's order went through or whatever. And I'll include that when I post the recording of this, just kind of for time's sake. But if you are familiar with the back office, a really easy way to check this at the end of the month is to, again, populate that whole list of your team. So hit points and rank, and then get your whole list. And then if you click on the heading that says order status, if you click that, anyone who has had orders run this month, they will go to the top of your list. And then you can check and see if they actually gave you points or not. So if it says 0 points, and then it shows that they had an order go through, which is the blue number, you need to click on that to check and see if the order got canceled, if the credit card was declined, or what was going on there. So again, if you're not familiar with the back office, you can look at that screen share, but I like to sort it that way just so I can see who had orders go through or not. But make sure that you are on it with credit card declines, because people need their products. First of all, like if their order doesn't go through, they're not going to be consistent with their products. And then you're going to see repercussions of that in the upcoming weeks. But it's also going to help with your points with end of the month too. So very, very important. It's something that you should be checking all the time, but end of the month, make sure you're double checking that. And then next, checking in on 0 PV people. So these are people who did not order this month. Maybe their subscriptions pushed out a few months. First of all, it's really important to know, do you know why they don't have an order in this month? You should know why someone's order changed, because you should be in touch with them. If all of a sudden you see that their order got pushed out, make sure that you're connecting with them and asking them questions about their regimen, because oftentimes it could have something to do with maybe they're forgetting to take certain things. So they have a stockpile of stuff. And so then they push their order out, or maybe they were detoxing and even though you checked in on them, they didn't tell you, or whatever. You can't avoid the conversation. You have to know. Always think best case scenario in your mind. That's always what I tell my team. That's what I tell myself. I'm going to think best case scenario, that they want these products, that they need these products, and they are going to be successful with these products. But if they don't have an order in this month, there's a couple simple ways that you can connect with them. Like I said, again, it's important to ask about their regimen. But then a super easy way to reconnect with them, and one thing that I love to utilize, is the reset. And it's because the reset is 100 PV. So it's like I can present this one thing to them and then it puts them at 100 PV, and pretty much everybody needs the reset and gets great results on it. And it's another thing that they love. So a sample message. And again, like I said, I'll give you guys like a verbiage sheet for some of these sample messages. And I've got like a first post, how to ask for a first post and stuff like that too. So I'll send all of that, or I'll put it in the the post, but a sample message for the reset would be, hey, I don't know if you've seen any of my posts about our new reset, but I'm going to be doing it again soon, and I'd love to have you do it with me. Not only is it a great time of year to do it because the weather's changing, blah, 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 but if you order a reset before the end of the month, you also will be eligible for a discounted bag of our new Smart Snack bars, because did you guys know that you can get them for $15 with a reset order this month? So you can kind of utilize that. So I love having them in my purse when I'm on the go. Would you be open to me sending you some additional information on the reset? So like I said, obviously this is specific to the $15 snack bar deal that's going on right now, but this is flexible. So any month you can use kind of the same idea of reaching out with maybe a promotion or something that gives like a sense of urgency. And I think it's good to open their horizons to new products too. Like if they haven't tried the reset before, it's a great time to bring that up. Another thing that you could reach out about would be like the product of the season or something like that too. So that's just one example. Also, I wanted to just say too, in some cases, I think it's helpful to reach out to white liners. So white liners are people that are in your back office that there's a white line because they don't have an order. They don't have like a subscription set, and it's super sad, right? So these are people who do not have subs on at all. If you're going to go for a big rank up goal, it might be worth messaging some of those people. Talk to your upline about that, because I think it depends, like it's a case to case basis. But I have had success with chatting with some white liners. I don't think that it's something that you should spend all of your time doing, but if you need point growth, I think that that's something that you can talk about with your sponsor and look at. You also need to be chatting with partial PV people. So when I say partial PV, this is people that have their orders under 100 PV. So we call them partial PV. And I think that we used to be more diligent with this, because for those of you who are kind of new around here, we used to not get any points for someone who was under 100 PV. So we were super diligent and worked really hard at keeping people at 100 PV previously. And I think that tenacity has been lost a little bit. And so I want to challenge you to dig in with that. And we need to be really diligent with partial PV orders, because if somebody isn't ordering 100 PV, it means that they're probably not consistently taking the triplex, which we want them to. So you need to educate them on that. They probably are not in a good routine, or they don't love enough products. And so I think it's really important that you still are making sure that you're checking in with those people and being very, very diligent with that. So for people who are under 100 PV, give them a product suggestion. Add value by sharing information on products throughout the month. Sometimes, and I'm not saying incentivize all the time, but sometimes I will offer to pay shipping if their order has already went and I'm recommending a product for them to try and they're open to it. I think it's worth it to me if they fall in love with an additional product, and they're more likely going to be ordering at that 100 PV mark in the future. So I will sometimes say, you know what, if you add that, do another order of that this month, or add that to your order or whatever, I will cover the cost of your shipping. So just a little incentive like that, I think, can go a long ways. Again, you don't have to do that, but that's just a thought. And I definitely don't think that you should be incentivizing people to order at the end of every month. I'm definitely not saying that. But if you are really close to a rank up or working hard at getting some movement going, I think sometimes it is helpful to do little things like that, where you cover the cost of shipping to get them loving an additional product. I think that if you do this earlier in the month before their order runs, that's probably ideal. So that's, again, something that you need to be in your back office and knowing, seeing, okay, this person's at 50 PV or whatever it is before their order runs. It's better to be diligent with that ahead of time. But sometimes it is worth it at the end of the month to muscle out some extra points. So, but talk to your sponsor about that if you have questions about that. And then some ideas for following up with potentials. So we obviously want to be closing the deal at the end of the month here. So you're going to want to make sure that you are very diligent with making sure that you are in touch with people that you've been talking to all month long. And right before we got on here, I did see that Jackie is going to go live in Gut Health and Happiness tomorrow morning, I think 8 o'clock. She did post it, so go check that out. But she's going to be highlighting the triplex, and that is going to be a perfect way to build belief in your potentials. So make sure that if they're not in Gut Health and Happiness already, get them in there and tag them on her live video, whether they catch it live. I know it's kind of early in the morning, so you might not hear from them before that, but you can always tag them in the replay, and that'll be a perfect way to build their belief. Another way that you can follow up with people is give them updates on deals and promotions. And so you can circle back around if you've not talked to them about the deals going on yet, or maybe something exciting is coming tomorrow. And hopefully I'm not in trouble for saying that, but check your email. You can circle around and give them a great offer tomorrow as well. Jamie, you can get after me later if I'm not supposed to say that. And then, so yeah, promotions are just a really good way to like follow up with people because everybody likes a good deal. So I just pop in and I'm like, hey, like, I know everybody likes a good deal. Just be conversational, you know? I know everybody likes a good deal, but wanted to just keep you in the loop because I know that we had talked about the products and you were interested. So that's just an easy way to contact people. Another really good way to follow up with people is doing a live video or a dual live. And I'm going to share more details on that in a minute, but that is an amazing follow-up tool. So I'll touch on that in a minute. And then also, I know I kind of shared a little bit about the reset deal that's going on with the smart snack bars. But I think using like promotion verbiage and just saying it a little bit different is key sometimes. It just creates urgency with people and might give them the little push they need to get, you know, to decide to join. So for instance, like with a potential, you can talk about this again and just kind of say, you know, I know I've mentioned the reset to you, or I don't know if you've seen me post about the reset. Not only is it a great time of year to do this, but there's an awesome deal happening right now through the end of this month. If you pair the reset with a welcome pack, which will help you stay on track after the reset, you will receive a free bag of our active energy drink, and you'll be eligible for a discount on a bag of our new smart snack bars. So just something super simple like that. And that's a $36 additional savings and a bunch of great products. Can I send you my favorite reset pack option? So wording it just kind of in a fresh way like that, I think you will get a great response. And then I wanted to touch on some extra ways to just kind of stir up some additional movement at the end of the month here. I think it's really important to continue to ask people to post. Ask happy product users to post. So go through your back office and be like, you know what, this person, they've been on their products, they love their products. Have you asked them to post about it? So I have a sample message and I'll put this in the verbiage thing I'll give you too, but it says, hey, I know you've been loving your products and you've seen XYZ results. I was curious if you'd be willing to put up a shout out post for me sharing a bit about your experience. I can help you write it and provide a picture too if you want. If you do, I would love to bless you with a sample of, pick a product they haven't tried yet, as a thank you. You also would get a $20 to $25 product credit if someone ends up ordering. Would you be open to that? I know your story could help a lot of people. I just started doing this with my team where we offered a small incentive, like a sample of Active if they haven't tried Active before or something like that. And it has went really well. And I feel like we've gotten a really good response. And it also gives them, again, I feel like it's sewing into your business because it gives them a chance to try and fall in love with a product they haven't tried yet. So definitely recommend doing this. It's not a huge thing out of your pocket. And again, I feel like it, you know, gives you something down the road too, where they're going to find another product that they like and will start ordering. So you don't have to offer a sample. I have been asking people for first posts for almost 3 years now without doing that. But I do think that the response rate has been better and it's been a good change of pace. Also make sure that anybody that has joined this month that you have not asked for a first post, go and ask them for a first post. And you can include the March promotions at the end of that first post to create urgency. So through the end of the month, there is XYZ promotions. Like just put that at the end. Who wants to do this with me? Like make sure you're ending it with a question, but you can create urgency because it's close to the end of the month and you're talking about these promotions that are ending in March. When you're asking someone to put up a first post, make sure that you make it super easy for them because they're a customer. They're not a business builder, and they're probably not gonna like take initiative and take the bull by the horns. Some people might, but make it super easy. Give them sample verbiage, give them a picture of the pink drink, tell them to make their post. Make sure that you watch that they set it to public, have them tag you so that way you see when it goes up. Include those monthly deals like what I talked about. And then whenever you're asking people to post, make sure that you're watching that post to see who's interested. If you see someone who commented that they're interested, make sure you coach that person to reply to their comment and then go and open a three-way chat with you and give them specific verbiage on how to do that. Keep it super simple and give them instructions just one step at a time. So if they're like, yeah, I'll do a post, don't give them a post and then say, and then when people comment on your post, do this. And then like, don't give them the whole thing all at once. Just give them step by step, one thing at a time. I also coach my people to reach out if someone just likes the post as well, just saying something super simple, such as, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for liking my post. I was curious, were you just supporting me, which I so appreciate if that's the case, or would you like a bit more information? I would love to have you do this with me. Make sure that you type out that verbiage for them. So it's very simple and you send it to them and just say, hey, send this. So that is one way to stir up some extra movement. Another way to do it is the live video or the dual live. I kind of alluded with this with like following up with people. With these live videos, you can do it by yourself, with a business builder, or with a happy product user. I think that dual lives are easier to perform because you get to kind of bounce back and forth. With another person, it's kind of more interview style, more conversational. I feel like it's a little bit more laid back. So if you're nervous about going live, if you haven't went live before, here's your sign. That means you need to do it. So do it before the end of the month. I'm challenging you to do that. If you're nervous about it, have your upline do it with you, or have one of your happy product users, or just find somebody and do it with somebody, but you need to do it before the end of the month if you've got butterflies. The basics of a live video or a dual live is all you're going to do is share 3 points. What was life like before Plexus? What was life like now after Plexus? Keep it short and simple. This is what life was like. This is what life is like now. Doing videos like this really just stirs up conversation and excitement because you can message people about the video and then tag them in the video in a very strategic way. So I find that even if somebody has went cold or they just flat out have been cold and I've not had a good conversation with them, this is a really easy way to reconnect and follow up. And I did a whole video explaining exactly how to do this and posted it in the team page. So if you search Dual Live, DUAL Live, Dual Live, you'll find it, but it's a really amazing way to get conversations going again and just kind of break things open. So there's a very specific way of how you message people after you do the live. So after you complete the video, just really briefly, it goes into more details in that other video, but I like to go and I message people after I do the video and I just say something really simple like, hey, I just did a video that means a lot to me. Could I tag you in it? And even if they say no, what's great is that your video shows up in their newsfeed and they're still going to see it because you went back and forth. So there's that. But I've done this with a couple of my business builders, like at the end of the month, who were like at the brink of a rank up, and it helped them get their last couple joints at the end of the month because it just kind of, broke open those conversations. So, Jamie just bumped the video at the top of Pink Power. Thank you. So yeah, there's more details there, exactly what you need and how to do it. But it is an amazing tool. I highly recommend it. It's a great way to do follow-up. But then, like I said, also kind of break up those cold conversations a little bit. Another way to stir excitement is to do, I'm sure all of you have seen like the magic post idea where it's just, like the background and the text, or some of you may have seen, but I did a post last week that completely blew up. We call it the Happy Spring post. You can go to my page and you can do it if you would like. You're welcome to use it. But after that post of mine blew up, like I think that these are effective, but I had a lot of people ask me, did it actually work and did I get joins off of it? I currently have a list of 14 people that I'm talking to from that post. and I've closed 2 people so far. So yes, I got joins from it. And I think it's something that is really important to know about posts like this, though, whether it's the magic post or this post. You need to be doing the work behind the scenes in order for those kinds of posts to work. So if you've been consistently doing your IPA all month long, a post like that is going to break open some conversation again. If you've not been doing your IPA, you can still try to do the post, but you just know that the magic of those posts is the behind the scenes daily work of your business. So don't try to just Hail Mary at the end of every month and put those kinds of posts up. You need to make sure that you're doing the work. If you don't have a lot of engagement on your posts, then you need to get busy behind the scenes. And you could honestly, like if it flopped, you could take it down, get busy messaging people, and then try it again. And just for context, the 2 people that I closed so far with that post, one I had been talking to for well over a year. And it was a painful year. It was a lot of information back and forth, but she finally jumped in. And then the other one was a person from last fall. So, all right. And lastly, I wanted to talk about just kind of circling back around. I know I need to wrap up here. I touched on at the beginning, like needing a minimum of 3 joins per month and developing a silver. So if you aren't there, you need to up your activity and close some potentials here at the end of the month. So if you need 3 more joins, remember that 1 out of every 10 to 15-ish people will respond to you. That is that's definitely an ish. So that means that you need to be starting a minimum of 45 additional conversations between now and the end of the month if you want those 3 people. So I challenge you to make it a goal to do an extra 50 reach outs in the next couple days here. How about like by tomorrow? That would be a good goal to do that before tomorrow. And then we all have heard that the fortune is in the follow-up. So go back through your list, look for anybody who fell through the cracks, update them on the promotions, tag them on the video that Jackie's going to do, all those things, but try to shoot for like an additional 100 follow-ups in the next couple of days. If you're serious about reaching your goals, you need to get serious and sit down and block out some time and do some intentional work. Put your phone on do not disturb and just be committed to sitting down and cranking it out, because it's worth it, not only for this month, but it's going to set the course of your business for the rest of 2023. So be intentional, do a power hour with your team, commit to your goals, and do not give up until midnight on the final day of the month. Because if you keep that mentality, you're going to see huge growth in your team in the upcoming months. And those little things, like showing up until the end of the month and pushing for those little wins, those are the things that people don't see behind the scenes. Nobody maybe knows that you do that. Maybe you do show up like that and people don't know that, but you know what? Eventually you're going to have visible success because of that. And it just needs to be a standard that you set for yourself too. It's not up to your sponsor. They can't make you stay up till midnight. It's not up to them. Like, you need to take ownership and do this and just decide that this is the standard that I've set for myself. This is how I'm going to conduct myself, and I am going to duplicate this in my team. So make sure you're talking about it with your team too. You need to make that decision yourself. So hopefully these ideas were helpful. Overall, I just kind of wanted to encourage you that a lot can happen in a matter of a couple days. So do not give up. Do not give up. Work all the way through and rally your team. Encourage them to stretch for those point growth goals too. Get as many people as you can to crush that March incentive. We're going to see the announcements coming in, and just believe that it can happen, because that is going to absolutely change the posture of how you talk to your team, how you talk to your customers, how you talk to your potentials. So let's end March strong, because how you end something is how you begin the next thing. And April is the last month of convention contest. So how do you want to start April? How you start April is how you end March. So let's end it well. All right. Thank you guys. And I will get you verbiage after this.